Perfect. Hi, everyone, again, and welcome to the third day of the Generative AI for Business Process Hackathon Workshop Week. So many words. I hope you've had a good first 2 days. And before I let Aleksi take the stage, I'm going to give you a few pieces of information just as reminders. If you haven't registered to the hackathon itself yet, that will be taking place on the 2nd to 4th of October in Riyadh. Please do so. We're very excited to see what you will come up with and work on during the hackathon based on this workshop and your own innovative thoughts and ideas. If you're unsure about how you register to the platform, how you find a team, how do you create a project submission, whatever the case may be, what's the schedule, you can simply go to the hackathon website. I'll link it in the chat as well for you, and watch the practicalities video. It's right there when you come in on the landing page as a big embedded video. There's me talking for 17 minutes about everything you need to know about the hackathon. So watch that. Also remember, if you already have a project and a profile, big thanks. I'm very happy to see that. Do remember, though, that you need to have a team of at least 2 people, between 2 and 5 people, to be eligible to be invited to the hackathon. So make sure, if you don't have team members, that you read through other people's profiles and invite them to your team. Ask around your friends, workplace colleagues, whoever, so that you can collect a team of 2 to 5 people. Also in the video, I'm going to go through the team selection criteria based on which we will go through every project submission with the partners after the deadline on the 27th of September. So max team members limit is 5 people. Thank you for the question. So make sure that you check that video out. Reach out to me. I'll put my email in the chat as well for you if you need any help with this or you're unsure. But sign in. Create a team of 2 to 5 people and check that your project submission meets the team selection criteria. Thank you.
Hello,
my last thing,
yeah.
Hello, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. I would encourage all the participants over here to let's spare like 5 minutes to ask any questions, and if you have any ambiguity, any queries about the hackathon process from Madeline. So Madeline is right here with us. Before Paula, Aleksi starts the presentation, let's ask if you have any questions, any doubts about the process. There was some questions yesterday, but unfortunately due to some interruption in the connection, we couldn't able to answer those questions, probably from one of the participants over here, Baria, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. And there are some of the questions also. So I would encourage all of you to ask those questions from Madeline now. She's over here.
Hi, Madeline. This is Baria. I am just contemplating. I still haven't registered. I haven't seen your video of 17 minutes, so maybe I will go back and try to see it and see what's it about. However, I don't have a team. I have some ideas, but I still haven't formulated. And some of the ideas were available in the descriptions, like the data cleansing and the data. I like the idea of anomalies, finding anomalies in data. However, I don't know which teams are available. If I register, I don't have people with me. So how do I put myself in things like that, if you can help?
Yes, good question. And sorry, Aleksi, for taking some of your time in the beginning. So basically, if you don't have a team, there's no problem, or your own team idea, no problem at all. You can still go to the website. I'll search it for you at the same time here. I'm putting it in the chat. You can still create a profile with telling a bit about your background, your interests, your skills. Once you have created a profile, you can go under the submissions tab on the website. There's a tab for the hackathon challenge itself, then for participants, submissions, and schedule. So if you check out the submissions, you can see all the teams that are already there, all the project submissions, and then you can simply click request to join on interesting teams, and then you can join an existing team if you don't have one yourself. Or if you formulate your own idea, you can also put a project submission on the website. It's all in the video, but I can also show you, for example, after Aleksi's workshop as well, how that's done on the sharing my screen, etc., if that's easier. And once you have your own project submission, you can go through the participants tab, look for interesting profiles, and message those to invite them to your team. So you have some ways to go. We have a lot of individuals already registered. More than 100 people have shown interest and registered for the hackathon. So I'm sure that you can find interesting profiles from there to reach out to and invite to your own team. I hope that's helpful at all.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent.
Madeline, there is a few questions also in the chat, if you can look.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Let's go to those next. Opening the chat. Yes, thank you. The deliverables required for the hackathon is that at the end of the hackathon, if your team is selected, you will create a pitch deck with that shows the innovativeness of your submission and your solution, shows a business plan, shows what kind of technical capabilities you're using, that you're using AI, how are you using it, and so on. It's highly requested, but not required, to also have some sort of demo or prototype, but it can also be just a very good explanation of your concept and your idea of the solution. So those are the deliverables. As for the team selection, yes, so what might help your team to get selected? As for the team selection, I can quickly go through what criteria we're looking at when we're going through the submissions with the partners. So basically, we're going to first look at the team size, since you need to be more than 2 people. So is it a team of 2 to 5 people? That's one. The other one is impact. So is there identified a clear purpose for your solution, clear problem? What are you solving? So is there a clear purpose? Scalability. Is the solution likely to be attractive to different stakeholders, customers, and so on? Is there some sort of business plan? Again, it's just your solution suggestion or your submission, so it doesn't need to be the finalized. It's just the idea of what you're going to do. But is there some sort of business plan in your that you're describing? Who will your customer be, or so on? And then we're looking at the innovativeness, since it's a hackathon. Is it something new? Is it exciting? Does it exist already? If something similar exists, how does this differ from that? Are you leveraging AI technical capabilities here? And then the team size. I can write these 6 in the chat when Aleksi gets started as well, so you have them in writing. But all of that is also in the 17-minute video on the website as well. But I can write it to you in the chat while Aleksi is teaching you something related to generative AI that you can also include in your submission to make it grand. Yes, very good questions. Anything else at this point from anyone? No. All right, if you get any inquiries on this, write it in the chat, either for everyone or directly to me as well, and we can also, in the end of the session, have another Q&A for both Aleksi and me, so that nothing goes unnoticed, so to say. Perfect. Then Aleksi, please take us through workshop day 3.
Okay, thank you, Madeline. Can you hear my voice? Just to confirm, because
loud and clear.
There were some technical difficulties yesterday. Okay, we will have a very interesting day today, and at first, let's go through what we have covered so far, and what we are going to cover today. So in day one, what we did was that we went through the basics of generative AI and how LLMs and ChatGPT work and how they are trained. And on yesterday, we took a look at prompt engineering, and we discussed how these LLMs can be used in many other ways, in addition to just generating text. And if you weren't here yesterday, I encourage you to take a look at that, because I think there you could find some ideas that might be quite relevant regarding your hackathon. So the first 2 days have been quite like general. So we have built general skills that you should be able to use in the hackathon, and I think these are the kind of skills that you should be able to use when you are trying to enhance business processes. But let's go deeper to today's agenda. So at first, we will take a look at the industry-specific applications of Gen AI. So one of the goals of today is to give you ideas and perspectives about what others have done with Gen AI, and how the companies are improving their processes with Gen AI. We also discuss about how to integrate Gen AI to existing applications, and this is quite exciting field, and there's a lot going on in that space. Then we will also there will be a brief coding session where we are building a chatbot that uses LLMs, and then we also will take a look at how to utilize GPT-4 in coding. So let's get into these industry-specific applications of Gen AI. At first, I will go through some of the sectors and what are some of the use cases that we are seeing in Gen AI. And after this overview, then we will take a look at some concrete examples that companies have done. So let's start with healthcare, and one of the use cases is that with Gen AI, not with this kind of this is also something that I find quite interesting, that we are beginning to have different kinds of LLM systems. So not all the LLMs or this kind of not all the Gen AI systems are not about text, but we are also seeing in increasing numbers these kind of different use cases for Gen AI. So and one of the quite promising field is this drug compound generation, and I highly encourage you to take a deeper look at that on your free time. It's very interesting field. This also we've had this amazing progress in reading images, and something something to look for is this GPT-4 will have this capability of reading images, and it's not clear when the OpenAI will enable this feature, but in their presentation when they announced GPT-4, they showed an example. I can when we have this break, I will post a link to this GPT-4 presentation, and if you're interested about what's coming to GPT and ChatGPT, probably later this year or next year, then take a look at this presentation. It's quite interesting. In the last point I have in terms of healthcare here is this concept that with these LLMs and with Gen AI, it's quite easy to make these kind of individual treatment plans, for example, or this could be something totally different. And what I'm really hoping when I go through these is that you think about your maybe you have some kind of idea about what you are hoping to achieve in the hackathon, or and think about these through the lens of your idea. So I'm hoping to spark something in your mind that that you can use in the hackathon. But this is like this is something I encourage you to think about, is that if you have some idea, is it possible to somehow create some like individual paths for users with LLMs, because this is something that really wasn't possible before the before this like last wave of Gen AI and LLMs, but now it's possible, and I think there's in many different fields there's huge opportunities in these kind of individual treatments or plans. Okay, let's move on to this media and entertainment field, which is probably we will go through this quite quickly because this is probably what you are most familiar with, and there's a lot of hype in the media about how you can generate articles and music, and we are beginning to see also these video capabilities. They are the video capabilities are progressing very rapidly, and one of the very interesting side effects, and or maybe this is this is like a coin with two sides. So these deep fakes have become quite realistic, and as we saw I think it was not yesterday, but the day before, we saw this kind of AI clone. And if you want to create an AI clone for yourself, you can do it if you have some time, and then you can do it for free. But if you're willing to pay, like let's say $10 or euros, then you can use these apps and create quite realistic deepfakes. This is something that something to think about in your presentation and in the hackathons. That could you, now that we have these deepfake capabilities, so could you use these in some kind of, maybe you could serve customers with these deepfakes, or maybe you could educate your clients or your internal staff. So there's I think there's a lot of possibilities there. Okay, let's move on to finance. So I think this is something that we haven't seen so much usage of Gen AI yet, but I think this will be very like or a field that Gen AI will be used a lot. And the reason I believe so is that now with this enhanced data tool that OpenAI has, this kind of ChatGPT plugin, which enables the ChatGPT to run code, and this enables quite high level analytics. So there's a lot of like these kind of data analytics jobs and data science jobs that used to be so that they required like a lot of human labor. But now with these, you can automate these kind of tasks quite easily. At the moment, there are some challenges related to data privacy. So if you want to create this kind of AI system that is using these coding capabilities, what you need is if you want to do it so that it is that you don't give your data to OpenAI. So if you want to have this high level of data privacy, then you need to have this OpenAI enterprise license. And this is something that they are now they started to sell it in the, I think in US. It's currently only in US, but it's coming to other countries, and this is something that enables the usage of these coding capabilities so that your data is secured. But what I recommend you to, like, or how I think you should approach this, is that now that you are generating this kind of MVP, or you in this hackathon phase, you want to prove that this is something that is very useful for business, and something that we can automate some tasks with this. I think the data privacy is not a problem in this presentation phase, and then you can rely on the fact that OpenAI is already selling this enterprise license with data privacy, so it will come to other countries. So you can rely on that. So now you can create your MVP, and then when you have access to this enterprise version, then you can make it to production. So I highly encourage you to take a look at this. So check this. It used to be called I think they changed the name. So it used to be called Code Interpreter. So it's OpenAI plugin Code Interpreter. And now they changed the name. I think it was something like enhanced data capabilities. But please take a look at that. I think with that tool we will see a lot of like enhancements to different kind of like finance and accounting related business processes. And this, like, one of the examples that you could use this Python interpreter plugin, which I just mentioned, is one of the use cases could be this credit scoring. So with this tool, it's quite easy, for example, to automate the credit scoring process. Last in my list is education. So
sorry, if you allow me, Aleksi, regarding
yes.
this credit scoring, you are saying using AI to automate the credit scoring process. But
yes.
As you know, in order to do this, you need to be able to work on the data itself, the transactional data of the customer, the financial transactions of the customer, in order to decide and build his scoring. So unless you have a real-time or near real-time access to the data, that ranking of the AI may not be useful. If, for example, you rank him as a bad customer after 1 day or 2 days, by that time he might have been already caused financial damage to the institution. So again, this is subject to my question yesterday. We need something to act on the live data or the database that we have, especially the transactional databases, where things like credit scoring, fraud detection. If I want to detect a fraud of someone on who's making calls or doing some recharges, I need something that is almost near time or real time access. So how this is possible without such access?
That's a great question. And what I've seen in and a great comment, because what I've seen when I built these systems is that those are the kinds of things that are the most challenging. And it's always in all of these like AI machine learning projects, the data part is the most challenging, and that's something to keep in mind when you are like building or thinking about your system. So how do you get the data, and how do you update the data, and this is something that it's highly dependent on your app and your process, but unfortunately I don't have any. There's no easy answers or ready solutions to that. So it's something you will have to overcome, and oftentimes you need to make like it's it's often the case that you would like to use the real-time data, but then you don't have access, and then you have to use, for example, data from yesterday.
Actually, I was searching about this yesterday, and I found something, some data connector for LangChain that connects directly to SQLite as an example. But I did not honestly apply it yet, and I just encourage you also to check this. Maybe you can give us better insights or better information about the use of LangChain with its database connectors. I'm not sure how this is going to be implemented and what is the real-time relativity in this. If you can have a look at this and advice, that would be really great from your side.
Yes, yes. Actually, my plan is that the next session. On Sunday, that will be mostly focused on that area of how to use your own data with these Gen AI apps. So we will have one day that will mostly cover this field, and there will be we will be using LangChain, which is the tool you mentioned, and that's something that is trying to solve this problem of how to use Gen AI with your own data. But yeah, that's something we will take a deep dive on Sunday. So if that's something you are interested in, then it's I highly recommend that you participate on Sunday. But yeah, that was a great comment, and something to keep in mind on. But let's talk a little bit about this education, and then move on to like real life use cases. So this is also related to the fact that now these LLMs, they are quite capable of explaining different kinds of concepts, and maybe something you could do is that you could use these LLMs to create some kind of learning paths that would make your workforce to perform better on their job, and that way you would like enhance the business processes. So this is something I think there's quite a lot of good use cases for LLMs. So something to keep in mind on when you're planning about what to do in the hackathon. Okay, a few words before we move on to examples about how to like what things to consider when you are integrating this Gen AI to existing applications. And we already, if you're interested about selecting the model, and you haven't watched day 2, then I recommend you take a look at that, because there on day 2 we were talking about these models and what to take into account when selecting the model. But it's actually funny that what I was about to tell you is what we discussed this 5 or 10 minutes ago about this data preparation. So I just briefly mention again that it is often the case that most of the time when we are building these AI based applications, it goes to this data preparation and how to connect the data. So that's usually the most challenging part. And maybe it's also something, if you haven't done this, at least for me, when I came to this AI, before this AI stuff, I used to do like traditional programming, and when I started doing this machine learning stuff, the thing that was something I wasn't expecting was this, that the data phase is so consuming. So at least for me, that was something I wasn't prepared enough for. Then in day 5, we will discuss a bit more about this ethics of AI, but that's something to keep in mind, is that people could be quite sensitive about AI usage. So it could be bad for your company's reputation. For example, if you are using AI to make some decisions, and if AI makes a wrong choice, so people are a lot. They accept the mistakes of humans, but in general, people don't accept the mistakes of AI. So that's just how it is, and it's one of the examples of this is the Tesla and self-driving. So there's quite a lot of accidents going on in traffic, but all the time. But when Tesla's autopilot makes one crash, there's this huge media circus going around it. So these AI models are not like people don't consider them similarly or think of them as similar with the human counterparts. And then the last thing in this is that or something to think about is that if you could use or you could enhance some process so that there is still a bit of human AI collaboration. So oftentimes it's quite challenging to remove the human from the process totally, but it's a lot easier if you somewhat involve the human. So let's say you have some business process and you have this solution and you could automate like 80% of it. I think these are often kind of very, very good use cases of AI. So instead of like trying to figure out, okay, what can I totally automate? Maybe you could think, okay, what are the kinds of processes that I could automate? For example, like I could automate 60 or 70% of that process. And then you would maybe you used to have like 5 people in doing that, and then after your AI tool, you only need 1. So that's a huge saving, and it's oftentimes a lot easier to accomplish. This is probably one of the greatest examples of real world use cases of Gen AI. So and this statistic is when we are talking about Gen AI, it's quite old. It's from February, but because the field is moving so rapidly. But it's the rise of this the amount of coding that is done by LLMs, it's quite amazing. And what has happened is that these co-pilots and they are doing this the boring stuff. So at least in my mind, the programming it's become more enjoyable because you can focus on the challenging parts. And if you have something like easy and dull, then you can use these LLM-based tools and automate these. And by the way, if you haven't used this Copilot, I strongly encourage you to download and use this. I think the cost is, I think it's $10 a month, and it's quite good when it takes some time to get used to, but when you used it for a while, I find it very nice and helpful. Okay, then in addition to this Copilot, what Microsoft is doing, and maybe this is something, because these capabilities are not yet here, at least in most of the, maybe in some of the companies they are, but in most of the companies, these capabilities, they are not yet here. So maybe this is something you could do. So this is example is, or what is happening here is that Microsoft, they are bringing Gen AI to all of their productivity tools. So they will have these LLMs powered systems in Word, in Excel, in PowerPoint, and so on. So maybe you could think of some productivity tool where you could and maybe you could, if there's an API, for example, in this productivity tool, maybe you could use or bring some LLM capabilities to some tool. Now let's take a quick look at what's coming. I think this, let's hope that you can hear the voice and see the video, but if it plays, then we will look this like maybe a 2-minute video about what is coming. And this is in addition to Microsoft. Google will also have these same kind of capabilities. So this is something you will encounter quite soon, I would think, maybe this year or early next year. And this will, I think this will somewhat revolutionize how we are doing our daily work. All right, I think the sound didn't work, but I will link this the video to the chat. So if you want to watch it with the sound, you can do that on the break. But there's the main point was on the video. So I think you got the even without this sound, you got the you saw what's coming. So that's it's quite interesting. So what Microsoft and Google are doing when they are bringing these LLMs to all of their products, and this approach is something to think about. So do you have, maybe you have some internal product, and how could you make it work better with LLM? This is quite old example. So I think maybe it was half a year ago or so that somebody created this this GPT Times, which is this kind of news media that is working by itself. So all the news are they are generated by LLM, and images are created with Gen AI. So this the whole like news site is doesn't involve any human labor. So maybe you could build this kind of intranet system, for example. Maybe you have some important information in different kind of formats. So maybe you could like connect the LLM with this with the data, and then you could bring it to your employees or to your customers or employees internally. This is also like similar example. So to this Microsoft, I think this was from Slack, or was this also from Microsoft? I can't recall, but the point here is that you have this meeting coming up. So they have integrated the LLM with this internal data, and now this internal ChatGPT is telling you some info about this coming meeting. So maybe you could build something like that. Salesforce, which is this quite large SaaS company, they quite recently announced that they had built their own LLM called Einstein GPT, and they are what they are doing is that this Salesforce, this is like sales CRM system, and what they are trying to accomplish with this Einstein GPT is that now the sales reps could easily make queries about their clients with natural language. And what I've heard about this is that it's quite capable, at least if you have like if your data is in great shape, and this once again comes to that. So if your sales reps haven't done their jobs properly in terms of updating the data when they have meet the clients and so on, then it's impossible to make this work. So something also to keep in mind is now when the generative AI is like now that it has took off. So something to keep in mind is that if you are responsible for some kind of system that gathers data, it's now more important than ever to carefully look that the data is in great shape, because if your data is in great shape, then it's easy to use these LLMs. This is something that I mentioned, these rising capabilities in image creation, but also in detection. So Meta, which is this company behind Instagram and Facebook, they recently announced this SAM model, which is shorthand for segment anything model, and I think it's open source, and I think it's the most capable image recognition system out there, or at least one of the most capable. So if you have some kind of if you have some image data that you could automate, or you have some processes that are using image data, this is something I think you should look at. So I will link this Meta's announcement in the break to the chat. So if you are interested in working with images, now you could probably during the hackathon you could build a very capable system that could compete with one of the or that could compete with any system in the world, basically. So that's quite amazing. Here is this interesting graph about. I think this is relevant for you guys, because here you could like think these areas that the businesses are currently using this LLM technology the most. So writing code that's like what the companies are using these LLMs the most. Then of course we have this copywriting and content creation, then customer support, creating summaries of meetings, and research. We haven't talked a lot about research, but that's something maybe you could enhance some processes related to research. So this is something LLMs are very good at. So you could you cannot necessarily get everything done but you get to going very quickly. So you get a good grasp of something very quickly. So maybe you have some processes that need some kind of research, and or research is part of some business process. So maybe you could automate part of that research process, for example, with your application. And then where this is something that I think came very clear yesterday, that these LLMs are very good at generating these. They are very good at extracting, for example, lists from large amounts of data. So if you have some kind of large text data set, then it's easy to get, for example, different kinds of lists, or extract some information from these data masses. But yeah, this is like these are the things that companies are currently doing, and maybe these are like probably the easiest areas to find tasks or jobs that you could automate or you could enhance with LLM. Then there is this is a deep dive into HR. So you could do this kind of, I only have this HR deep dive, but you can do this kind of, it's quite easy to find this using Google. So you could do this kind of deep dives to your topic, and what this gives you is that you get to see like what are the easiest ways to or what are the ways the companies are currently using the LLMs. So maybe you could find or you could maybe get some inspiration to your idea with this. So I encourage you to take a deep dive to your topic. So at first, when you have this some kind of idea, then take a look at the topic in deep and check that what are the current use cases of LLMs in that area, and then maybe you found some new angle or you come up with something new. This was an interesting finding. So it's quite clear that the LLMs are capable of enhancing the business processes. So we have seen these. We have seen a lot of these studies that have showed a productivity boost. So now you just have to find what are like the best areas to use these. But it's clear that with LLMs we can accomplish these productivity boosts. This is the last thing before the break. So this is interesting picture about how fast this Gen AI took off and how excited people have been. So this is this chart is the time it took for this these applications to reach 100 million active users. So for ChatGPT, it took 2 months to reach 100 million active users, which is quite amazing. The second best, so to speak, in this list is TikTok, and it took TikTok 9 months. So maybe this is telling us that this hype around AI, it's real. So it's not only media, but there's also real usage. All right, let's have a short break. So let's continue after 12 minutes. So let's have a 12-minute break. So 15 past 15. And during the break, I will provide you with the links I promised. And you can also watch the video with sound if you like. But yeah, let's continue 15.
Very good. Thank you. If during the break you have any questions for me, I'll be here. So unmute yourself or write me in the chat. 15:15. See you.
All right, let's continue. Could you please someone confirm that the voice is okay and you can see the actually that you can see this code?
Yes, and yes.
All right, great. So as promised, there will be this brief coding session today, and similar to yesterday, I actually was supposed to post this during the break, but now that I forget, I will post this after this presentation. But you will get these files, so don't worry about the details. You can check these later. But what we have here is I have created this kind of chatbot, LLM-based chatbot, and this is not connected to any kind of database, which is something we will dive into on Sunday. But what I have done here is that I have represented or like faked that this is connected or we have some kind of database. So what I've done here is that in this prompt, I've created these items, and this what this chat does is that this is a manufacturing order bot. So what you could do with this bot is that you could connect this bot to your database, and then you would have these items what you have available brought to this app, and then you could chat with the app and make orders as a client. And I think I won't go through the code in more detail. You can take a look at it by yourself. It's quite simple. What I will say though is that this take a look at this this prompt, and once you have the file, I encourage you to like modify this prompt and see how it affects this chat experience. So currently, I would say that this message what I wrote here, this is not a great prompt. This is like mediocre prompt, and what you could do is you could make this better. And what I mean by that is that now you will soon see when I chat with this bot that the experience it's okay, or at least a couple of times when I tested this, it was okay, but it wasn't great. So maybe you can enhance this this prompt so that it will work better. But let's see how it works. Okay, so hopefully you can see my terminal, but I will read these or parts of these. So even if you can't clearly see the terminal, it doesn't matter. But okay, so let's pretend that I'm a customer. So I wrote to this app that hi, I would like to make an order. And the assistant writes me back that, okay, I'm here to assist you. What items are you interested in? And let's ask what items do you have available? Now we can see again that this is something that is like a feature with LLMs, that the more data it goes through, the longer the queries take. But okay, here it quite nicely provides us the catalog. So the assistant wrote me back, okay, we have the following items available in our catalog, and then there is a list of the items, and then in addition the ordering bot wrote me that let me know if you need any further information about these items or if you have any specific requirements. Okay, let's say we would like to have 2 bolts. Okay, so I would like to have 2 bolts. Okay, and now we see this these kind of problems that would sometimes happen with LLMs, and in this case, if this were your production system, what I recommend you to do is that at first you should optimize the prompt, and if you still have this kind of unwanted behavior, that even though I see. Actually, this wasn't a mistake by LLM. It was mistake by me. So I misspelled my message. So I wrote. I was supposed to write 2, but I write 2. So of course the LLM couldn't answer my question correctly. Okay. So but let's say this is. Let's say that I would not have misspelled my message, and let's pretend that I wrote it correctly, and then let's say that even in that case we would have this kind of unwanted behavior. So what I would recommend you to do if you have this kind of problems with your LLM based app, that at first you try to rewrite the prompt. So maybe the prompt is not clear enough, so LLM is unable to follow your requests. If that doesn't help, what you could do is you could change the LLM you're using. So now we are using this GPT 3.5 Turbo, which is not as good in following orders as GPT-4. So if you have this kind of situation, then first try to rewrite the prompt. If that doesn't help, then change the model to more capable model if you still have room for better models. Okay, but let's try again. I would like to have 2 bolts. Okay, now the assist or the bot writes me, perfect. You would like to order 2 bolts. Is there anything else you would like to add to your order? And let's say, no, that is all. Thank you. Then the assistant, this is probably the part where the prompt could be better. So now it's, at least for my liking, it's a bit too repetitive. So now it's again asking, I already told the bot that yes, I would like to have 2 bots. And now it's again wanting me to confirm that would you like to order 2 bots. So yes, that is correct. Okay, now the bot got it. So the assistant probably back got it. Now let's talk about the delivery. We offer standard and expedited delivery options. Which one would you prefer? Standard is fine. And we get the message back. So great, we'll proceed with standard delivery for your order. Is there any specific deadline or date you need the order to be delivered by? Let's say we don't have, so no, we don't have any specific date. Okay. And now we got some nice error. But I think we managed to get far enough so that you get the idea. Let's see where in what line the error 57. So okay, weird. Hadn't happened before, but maybe when you play with the code, maybe you could, if you come up with this, maybe you could correct this, or sometimes these kind of things can happen if the OpenAI API, it's not super reliable. So that's also something to keep in mind, that I've encountered I think at least 5 to 10, maybe more, maybe more than 10 times. I have encountered some kind of error in the OpenAI API. So that could be the reason why we got this. But something to keep in mind that these systems, these are not like 100% reliable. So this could sometimes happen even if your code is perfect, which might not be. So this could also be a problem on our end. But in any case, I think you saw enough. So this there was actually the only part I wasn't able to show you is this. Now this has coded so. And yes, I will provide you the code. I will post a link to this chat when I'm done. So in 15 minutes, I will provide you with the code, so you can try this for yourself. The last thing here is that this what I wasn't able to show you is that now it's coded so that when the customer writes finish order, then this system creates this JSON summary of the items. And this is, let's say you have this system for making these you have some kind of ordering system. So then what you would want to do is that you want to send these customer items with the customer info and everything, and you want it to be in some kind of more systematic format. So for example, this JSON works nicely. Now what I will show you next is that I don't know if this will work, but what I've done is I also have this other file here, which is chatbot GUI.py, which is this kind of same chatbot, but with user interface. It's not very sophisticated user interface, but it's a user interface. maybe you can do a nicer interface by yourself. But here it is, and and what I had this idea that maybe something could be helpful for you guys. What I've noticed is that and what has been probably somewhat challenging on my end, that you came from quite a different background, so the skills, there's a lot of variability between you guys in terms of skills. So this is probably something that is, if you're not so familiar with programming, but you would like to, in the hackathon, you would still like to create some kind of prototype. So, and this is something you could do. So let's try to create this kind of graphical user interface for our chat with ChatGPT. So this is the OpenAI playground. So here you can use this, or you can use the regular chat, the basic chat interface via your browser. But the reason why I prefer this playground or API over to this like traditional ChatGPT web address is that here you have more options, and in this kind of tasks these options are quite handy. Okay, so what I'm doing here is that I'm providing this ChatGPT. Let's pick the most capable model, GPT-4, because in coding this is usually the one you should use. You should use GPT-4 when you're coding. And let's create or let's use this system message that says or directs the GPT to be a AI programming assistant. And this is actually, if you watch the video I posted about this GPT-4, this presentation by OpenAI, in that video, this is the prompt they are using in their coding example. And I've tried this a few times, and it seems to work quite nicely. Okay, let's increase the maximum length, and let's decrease the temperature. So we want the temperature to be quite low because we don't want a lot of creativity to our solution. But what I'm going to do here is I will copy paste this code. This is the one I showed you. So in this we don't have the graphical user interface. And let's copy paste this code here, and then what I like to do is that I like to separate this code with some kind of delimiters, so the model knows that my code is where my code is and where are my instructions. So here are the general instructions, how I want the model to behave, and here I will provide the model with my code, and in addition I will write these like more detailed instructions about what I want. So I will tell the model that okay, below is my Python code delimited by triple quotes. I would like you to modify to code to have a nice user interface. Let's see, in this I use this T-Kinter. Maybe that's something we could ask the model to use. So below is my Python code. I would like you to modify the code to have a nice user interface. Please use T-Kinter library. All right. Let's see what we get. So this is one of the things that that this system, now we see the system prompt in action. So what's happening here is that we asked the model to first think step by step. And this is something that will often provide us with better results, especially in these kind of like challenging tasks. But I think this this kind of user interface, I think it's too challenging for the model to get right in the first try. But this is something that often happens. So now let's copy the code and let's create a new file. Chatbot created by chat. And let's open this file and copy paste the code here, and let's save this. And now let's run this, and I would assume it fails because the task was quite challenging in my opinion. Okay, but at least it gave us this user interface. So let's try it out. So hi, I would like to make an order. Whoa, maybe I was too skeptical. So I didn't thought that it would be possible for this ChatGPT to get this right away. But let's see. Let's ask what items do you have available? Yes. Yeah, it seems I was wrong. So yeah. So the ChatGPT-4 was able to create this user interface for our app. So that's I think it's it's quite amazing. But and this is something if you're like it's even if you know how to code, this is something that maybe this will save some time for those of you who are good at coding. But if you are like technical oriented person and you know something about these file systems and environments and how like programs work, then this is something that you could use in the hackathon. So I encourage you that if you have this kind of team that is not very technical, I still would encourage you that you should create some kind of MVP, and you could do that with these kind of techniques. So you could now what we did, we modified this existing program, but you could also ask the ChatGPT to create a program for you. So and then what you would want to do after the process, it's if you want to come to a good end result, the process is very iterative. So it's most likely that in the first try you will not get the program you want, but then you can copy paste what you get to over and over again to the model and ask the model to, okay, I would like this part to be different, and I would like this to have this kind of user interface. And if the user interface is not working as you would like it to work, then you could ask the model, okay, so or explain to the models, okay, so I don't want that, I want this app to work differently. And also something to keep in mind is that when you encounter these errors, you can copy paste these errors from the console to the chat and ask and provide this provide the GPT with the error, and then it can be quite helpful. So let's say if let's break something here. So let's say let's set this to S. So it will give us some kind of error. Okay, so okay, this is like probably too simplistic example, but just to show you what I was talking about is what I would do in this case. I would copy paste this code again to here, and then I would paste this error, and let's see what we get. Okay, so here the model is explaining us the error. So that's one of the like very nice properties of LLMs that are capable of coding. So as we speak when we speak about this education, so these models are good at educating you and their knowledge is very fast. So this is a nice example of that. So now, even though the example is super trivial, but this scales to more challenging problems as well. So here the model is telling us that, okay, it's the temperature parameter that should be set to 0, not S. And now we could correct our code. So now it's working again. All right. I think that is all for today. I will provide you with the code examples now. And we still have 10 minutes for Q&A. So if you have any questions, now it's great time to bring them up. You can also ask if you have any questions to me or to Madeline. Feel free to ask them.
Thank you, Aleksi, and I second that. Any questions to anyone in the room? Now is your chance. And I can make sure that those code links are updated on the website as well. So when you check out the recording of this session, you can find the links there below as well. So everything will be at your disposal later as well. A silent room. You have educated some experts already, Aleksi. No questions from here.
Okay, now this chatbot.py and chatbot underscore GUI PI, they are now in this folder. So you can take a look at the code examples. And I posted the link to the chat. So here you can find them.
Yes, thank you. I did receive a question. Excellent, but sorry, Aleksi, it's for me. What do you need to present at the end of the hackathon? Can it only be an idea, or does it need to be an idea with a real application? Obviously, since we're building hopefully some sort of generative AI bots or applications or so, would be amazing if you could present that at the end of the hackathon as a real example and so on. But that being said, it's not a requirement. So if you have a super good concept of your idea and you have an idea of how it could be made into a real application or a real life use case, that's also fine. We do encourage highly that you try to build something, and Aleksi and some other mentors will be there at your support throughout the hackathon. So you will have the help you need to actually build something as well, but not a requirement. Not a super early answer, but
Sorry, when we are supposed to submit our proposals?
very good question. The deadline for submitting is the 26th of September. So you have 12 more days.
Okay, is there a template or something to fill, or just a regular email, or to whom shall I submit this?
Another excellent question. I can again add the link here to the challenge website. I have to check that I'm sending it to everyone. So when you click this link, you come to the Hackathon Challenge website, and on the right-hand side, you can see there's the join as follows information. And under that, it says sign up or sign in or something like this. By clicking that, you can register and create a profile, and then a project submission as well. So that's where you should be, and that's where
yeah, I know that place, but that is a free text. Just submit it as it is. It's a free text. There's no template.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Excellent question.
One more question, maybe to Aleksi also here regarding the app. As you said, there should be an app. That app can be a command prompt, a console app, or it has to be a GUI, a graphical app.
Yes, it can be a console app. Yeah,
it can be. Yeah.
Yes, but I given it's quite easy to create at least this kind of simple graphical user interfaces with ChatGPT. So I encourage you to create some kind of
sure.
graphical user interface.
I agree. True, I will do my best.
Excellent. Anything else we're wondering on anyone's mind?
Okay, if one more thing, if I need some, maybe this is not for you, Ultra Hack or even Software AG. Maybe this is to STC should be directed. If I need to build something that may require some computing, I think I shall look internally to see if I can have like a virtual machine or something to run the model if it's heavier than my laptop, heavier to fit in my laptop or in my desktop. So that's something internal. Sorry for that.
Yeah, I believe that's the way to go forward with that. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we assign as a teams, or can I assign an individual?
Good question. You can first sign in as an individual and create a profile, but in order to be eligible to be accepted and invited to the hackathon, you do need to have a team for your project. So a team with 2 to 5 people, and you need to have a project idea as well with that team.
So should all of the teams be in STC, or can be outside STC?
They can be outside or inside. Yes, there's no restriction.
What if we don't find 5 or 2 or even 3? What if I don't have people, to join me? Can I do it on my own?
Unfortunately not. You will need to have a team of at least 2 people. It's easy, as said in the beginning, we have so many profiles already and individuals without teams that are eager to join a team. So I'm sure that you will find interesting participants when you go to the Hackathon website and the participants tab or submissions tab, and reach out to interesting people or request to join interesting teams. So it should not be a problem. We have a lot of interested people who are looking for more team members.
Sure.
Mr. Ahmed, let's talk. We can make a team.
Yeah, you should.
Why not? Why not?
Excellent.
Sure. STC? Sorry, Karim, you are STC or university?
STC.
STC. Okay, fine. Can you email me or send me your email?
Okay, I will send you privately.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Nice. Excellent. Some matchmaking in this session. I love it.
Yeah.
Anything else? We still have a few more minutes.
Thank you. Because I just joined, I'm not sure if there is another session now to start or another presenter, or that's it for today.
For today, that's it. And then you have the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and then we meet back here on Sunday at 2. And then Aleksi has a session, and then we have a guest speaker again, the last hour from 4 to 5. And then on Monday, we have again the last session with Aleksi here, and then we have 2 guest speakers.
Okay, is there any mentor for us? Can we consider the team here as our mentor if we need some help, or we have to figure it out on our own?
Very good question. There will be several mentors helping you throughout the event, not in your project submission phase. So when you're applying for the hackathon, you are unfortunately on your own. That being said, you can send, for example, me your project idea if you want some feedback or so. I'm happy to help. I can put my email in the chat here. But other than that, no mentors before the hackathon. But then once you're invited to the hackathon, we have lots of mentors who will help you throughout the event to support you and your work.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Sure,
I guess maybe that is it for today. As said, enjoy your weekend now and meet me and Aleksi back here in 2 days from now on in 3 days. Well, after your weekend, my brain is so tired that I need a weekend as well. Meet us back here on Sunday, same link, same meeting ID, same passcode. I'll email you that as well so you don't forget, or if you forget, I can remind you. And we wish you a wonderful weekend and thank you for today.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.